the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings under the lights on Sunday night.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Again, everybody, alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's the former Utah Ute Matt Gay to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a 4th-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
They go play action. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ernest Jones, the linebacker, with a sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker, because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. The start less than ideal as they already face a 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one, and their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
A miserable start here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. On the return is Powell. Here's Powell on the return. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. And this is taken in by the tight end, Bryson Hopkins. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Well, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Stafford, it's complete to Hopkins. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 1st down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
An 8-yard pickup. 1st down, Rams.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
A give up the middle to Akers. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When there's extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Gay's kick is good, and that will push the lead up to 5. So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. Fielded right around the 8. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. On play action, Cousins. He'll buy some time right. Adam Thielen, back-to-back catches. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. To throw is Cousins. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And he will bring it back. It's an interception returned for a Rams touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Matt Gay to kick off for Los Angeles.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here's Stafford. This one brought in by Jefferson. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, it told you just how starved they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Cousins on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Set to go again. Here's Cam Akers in the LA offense. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. And the tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Rams. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. He starts with a give to Akers. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he's going to have a Rams first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 67 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll go again here with Akers. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On the handoff, it's Akers. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will stay a 12-point game.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The LA offense ready for this next possession. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And some room to work. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And even 100 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. The previous play, big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
Certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're 1 play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Load up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Akers. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They'll get 10 there, but leaves him just short for 4th down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll run for it with Akers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Cam Akers taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Rams have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gambled with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was Cam Akers who capped it off with a touchdown.
Matt Gay to kick off for Los Angeles.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Vikings head out to take over once again. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Cousins. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll run here with Akers. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 123 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Stafford. That's caught left side. It's Higbee, the tight end. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now a run with Akers. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Going right back to Akers. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Cam Akers, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26.
Vikings, nothing. Matt Gay to kick off for Los Angeles.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And now out comes Minesota. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter, but do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Results, 4th down.
Running for it, here's Cook. Room here to run. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
It's now 4th down.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
So the LA Rams with a victory here, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Oh, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.